Good morning, friends. Welcome to Empty Cloud Monastery again with Bhante Sumitta, who's offering a short mini course on the stages of awakening. So this is the third and last part of this workshop, we can call it. And welcome to Nishani, Geeta, Jayanta, Sam, and Nancy. And of course, welcome to Bhante Sumitta. Thanks for sharing the Dhamma with us. So I'll pass it on to Bhante now.
Samantha Chakravalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Sadhangmang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanka Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanka Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadantha Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Simatigo Brahmano Tassa Nathe Nyatvacha Disvacha Samugahitanti Simati Chatasso Simayo Sakaya Ditti Vichikiccha Silabbata Paramaso Ditthanusayo Vichikicchanusayo Tade Katthacha Kilesa Ayang Patama Sima Olarikang Kamaraga Sanyojanang Patigha Sanyojanang Olariko Kamaraga Nusayo Patigha Nusayo Tade Katthacha Kilesa Ayang Dutiya Sima Anusahagatan Kamaraga Sanyojanang Patigha Sanyojanang Anusahagato Kamaraga Nusayo Patigha Nusayo Tade Katthacha Kilesa Ayang Tatiya Sima Ruparago Aruparago Manodhachang Avidya Mananusayo Bhavaraganusayo Avidyanusayo Tade Katthacha Kilesa Ayang Chatutha Sima Yato cha chatuhi Ariya Maggehi Yato cha chatuhi Ariya Maggehi Ima chatasso simayo atikanto hoti samatikanto vyato sovichati simatigo Brahmanoti sattannang dhammanang bahitatta brahmano Sakaya ditti bahito hoti vichikiccha bahito hoti silabbata paramaso bahito hoti asito tadi paucchate sa brahma tassati arahato khenasavassa sadhu sadhu sadhu. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to all the other people who are joining us from Asia. And today we are going to conclude our workshop on the path to enlightenment. So far we have been discussing about the Sotapanna and Sakadagami and Anagami. So in this path we notice that out of the 10 fetters, so dasa saṁyojanas, we have been dealing with the first 5 saṁyojanas. They are also called Orambhagiya saṁyojana. So Sakkaya Ditthi Vicikicca, Silabbata Paramasa, and Kamaraga Patika. And now today we are going to discuss about the Arahanta state, the final liberation. And here we need to work with Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, and Avijja. This is also called Uddhambhagiya Sanyojana. So Orambhagiya is kind of lesser intense. Those Sangyojanas are in kind of lesser intensity in compared to the other 5 Sangyojanas. So we still have Raga, we still have Uddhacha, and we still have Mana, and then also we still have Avijja. Avijja is the last. Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avijja. So it's really fascinating and interesting too. The word here, the Araha word, one of the most frequented words in the Tipitaka, and it is mentioned 4,184 times. And Kathavatu Pali has the most number of appearances here with 813, while Mahanidesa has 81 times, and Mahanidesa Attakatha mentions it 41 times. And Ruparaga with its 11 variations appear in 111 times, and Kathavatu tops the list with 21 times, and Mahanidesa has 7 times. Aruparaga appears 85 times with 9 variations, and Kathavatu Pali again 23 times, tops the list with Mahanidesa 5 times. And Mano is mentioned. Can you imagine? It's a whopping 2,240 times with 35 variations, while Mahanidesa tops the list of books with 176 appearances. And Mahanidesa commentary has 85 appearances. Mana is a really something that we need to discuss a little bit more today. And then Uddhacha appears 529 times, with Patisambhida Magga topping the list with 63. while Mahanidesa records 11 times. Mahanidesa Katha, that is the commentary of Mahanidesa, has 9 times. Avidya appears 2,512 times with 12 variations. And again, Patisambhidhamagga tops the list with 158 times, and Mahanidesa and commentary also records it 10 and 44 times respectively. So these are just a little bit information for you, why it is important for us to know, because we are dealing with today Arahanta ideal, and also we are dealing with Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avidya. As per the time restrictions, let's go see how we can deal with this all important discussion. So Ruparaga. Ruparaga here in Mahanidesa, actually I'm working on Mahanidesa Pali, so my as with my thesis topic, so I have also been translating. There are 81 times in the Mahanidesa Pali the concept of Araha. The word is mentioned there, and 42 times in the Sutta commentary. So I have been translating all these texts related to the word Araha in the Mahanidesa Pali. It was really interesting and very fascinating. And so one of those paragraphs that I have used as the topic today, and that is the 4 kinds of seema, so boundaries. And there are 4 boundaries. So Simatigo Brahmano Tassanati. So the Brahmana, here Brahmana means the Arahanta person, the liberated person. Simatigo means he has overcome all the seemas, all the boundaries. And so the first seema is the Sotapanna stage, as we have discussed before. And the second seema is the Sakadagami stage. And then that is Olarikang Kamaraga anu saṁyojana, Patiga saṁyojana. So the gross level Kamaraga and Patiga saṁyojana is explained there. So in the third seema, third boundary is the anagami, that is the anusahagatang kamaraga sanyojanang, that is those minute level or microscopic or those latent tendencies of kamaraga sanyojana and patiga sanyojana completely eradicated, along with the tadekattacha kilesa associated with associated defilements. So all those defilements are done with this third seema or third boundary. So those people who have achieved these 3 stages, let's say like Sotapanna, and those defilements will never come back to them. That is Lokiya or Laukika achievement. This is a worldly achievement. This Lokuttara achievement is really important, because those defilements will never come back to them again anymore. And same thing with the Sakadagami and Anagami level too. And when it comes to Arahanta level, it is the Ruparago, Aruparago, Mano Uddhacho Avidya. So Mananusayo, Bhavaraga-anusayo, Avidya-anusayo, Thade Katthacha Kilesa, Ayang Chatutha Seema. So Mananusaya, so Ruparaga, Mana Uddhacha Avidya, and Mananusaya. Anusaya means latent tendency. So latent tendency related to the mana, and Bhavaraga Anusayo, latent tendency related to the Bhavaraga. And So, and also all the avijja, that means latent tendency related to the avijja. Tadekatthacha kilesa, all the associated defilements. This will be done away with the arahanta stage. So avijja also will be slowly loosen up when you achieve sotapanna, sakadagami, anagami stage. And avijja will be completely eradicated, exterminated when you are in the arahanta level. So that is really an important achievement here again. And this is where we actually decode the mystery of samsara. And all of us are in the whirlpool of samsara. We don't know how to come out of this labyrinth. It's really a very difficult situation that yesterday we were talking about how the Mara influences us. And so we ourselves have to come out of this. Otherwise, there is no other choice for us. I would like to mention one more time a repeated expression that the Buddha mentioned. He mentioned there are three massive structures in the world. Maha Pathavi, that is the great earth, and the Maha Samudra, the great ocean, and the Maha Meru Pabbato, Sineru Pabbata, the great mountain. They are really massive structures in this world. And all these massive structures will also be completely gone one day, completely disappear one day, but yet avijja will still be there, leading us back to the samsara. So this is why it's really important to understand what is this avijja, to understand and also to make some effort to get rid of this avijja. Okay. So okay, so let me discuss about the Rupa Raga. Rupa Raga is actually the, what do you call, that is the Rupa Bhave Chandaraga, Chandaraga. That is Rupa Bhave Chandaraga. Rupa Raga is mentioned there. So Tadanubhuta, yes. So Rupa Ragati, Rupa Bhave Chandaraga. So we have the lust, we have the attachment to be born in the Rupa world. All of us have that problem. We like to think of our own rupa, our own form, our own figure, our own body, and a lot of people are actually trying so hard in front of the mirror how to do, like, impress other people with our own rupa. And some people go to eat certain different kinds of vitamins and or some other very nutritious food. And also some people also go to gym and they run, they do so many activities to make sure that you become a very impressive person in front of the world. And then also you are also thinking sometimes, even in the past, I was like this, now I am old, but in the past, like 10 years ago, I was very strong, I was mighty powerful, and all those things you think of yourself, your own rupa. And in the future, some people also think, I'm going to be like this, I'm going to lose some weight and maybe 50 pounds and try to think of that role model or an exemplary body for yourself. And this way our Rupa Bhava is really something that we can get rid of. And so doing all the makeup and all the other things are actually part of it. And then some even want to go to Devaloka, because it is said that in the Devaloka it is much more prettier, much more impressive, and very, very colorful and beautiful and bright. And some even want to go to the Brahma world, where you are even more shining and more powerful. So Rupa Bhave Chandaraga is something that we can get rid of until we attain Arhantahod. It will be there with us to a certain extent, even in Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami level. And Arupa Ragati, Arupa Bhave Chandaraga. So when you attain jhanas, like the fourth jhana, for example, and you are not interested in anymore about the Rupa Bhava. In fact, when you go to Akasananchayatana, Vinyananchayatana, Akinchanayatana, and Nevasanyayatana, those four samapattis, you definitely are not interested in Rupa Bhava anymore. There is a very interesting story about the Buddha's former spiritual teachers, Alara Kalama and Uddaka Putta. They have already attained those samapattis, and they wanted to actually go to the Arupa Bhava. They were so fascinated in the Arupa Bhava. They wanted to be born in the formless realm. They were not interested in this body anymore. So they were born in that realm, and even the Buddha couldn't help them because they didn't have a body. They didn't have a body, they didn't have ears to listen to the Dhamma. So they are pretty much there, maybe just a few hours, maybe in the Brahma realm, maybe a few minutes, although it was like in our human world, it is 2,500 years. So yeah, that is the case with the Arupa Bhava. I want to discuss a little bit more about the mana. Mana is conceit. There are many kinds of manas in the Tipitaka. As I mentioned, so many things are there about this mana. It's very interesting. If we know this thing, maybe it will be helpful for us as well. Manoti ide kacho manang janeti jatiyawa gottenawa kola puttiyenawa vanna pokkaratayewa dhanenawa ajjenenawa kamma yatanenawa sippayatanenawa vijjatthanenawa sutenawa patibhanenawa anyataranyatareenawa vattuna atimanoti ide kacho parang atimanyati jatiyawa gottenawa. So it goes on like that. I think if I read the Pali, you will feel sleepy. So let me go to the translation. So the mana is explained in the Mahanidesa Pali in so many different ways. One is ekavidhena mano, one-fold mana. That is chittassa unnati, rising of the mind. When you have mana, it's always lift you up, right? So rising of the mana is then, and then duvidhena mano is there. That is twofold conceit, attukkansana and paravambana. Attukkansana means you want to glorify yourself and you want to contempt the others. So self-extolling conceit and other contempting others, contemptible towards others. You want to look down upon others while you want to highlight yourself as the better person. So this is like inferiority complex and superiority complex. May not be necessarily the same, but it is something like that. And then Tividhena Mano, threefold conceit is also there. Seyo Hamasmi, Seyo, that means you think I am the excellent one. That is Seyo Hamasmi. And then Sadiso Hamasmi, that means you want to compare with the other excellent ones as you are equal to them. And Hino Hamasmi, this is inferior. I am the inferior one. Always in front of the others, you feel inferior. So this is again with those people, like maybe people with if you are with the certain political leaders or something, then you feel like you are Seyo Hamasmi. I am a very special person. I'm an excellent person. I am a superior person. It can happen to any other, like if you are a world-class sportsman, maybe an Olympic gold medalist or something. If you run with that person, you will also think, I'm also, Seyo Hamasmi. I'm an excellent person. And so Sadiso Hamasmi is you are also comparing yourself to others. I'm equal to them. Inferior means you are always, you have that problem. It can happen also due to many reasons. Then Chatubhidena Mano, there are fourfold mana. Labhena Mananjaneti. That means when you have some gain, some profit, then you have the conceit. It generates you conceit. And Yasena Manang Janeti, that means by fame also the mana is generated. Then Pasansaya Manang Janeti, when the other people praise you, it also generates mana, conceit. Sukhena Manang Janeti, that means when you have a lot of comfort, a lot of happiness, that also can generate mana. Now you know why it is so difficult to get rid of. And then Panchavidha mana, fivefold mana is explained here. Labhimhi manapikanang rupanang ti manang janeti. That means one who gains much labha. Labho amhi, labhi amhi. That means I have a lot of things. And manapikanang rupananti. I have pleasing materiality. So that way you think, and then it can also generate mana. Then manapikanang saddhanang, same, like some people can say I have a very sweet voice, so you can generate mana. And someone can say I have a very special odor or body odor, like perfume or something. So it also can generate mana. And pottabha means someone can say I have a very soft contact or something like that. All the other internal and external things that you have can lead to mana. So this is Rupa Saddha Gandha Rasa Pottabha. That way it is 5. And then the sixfold mana, Chakku Sota Ghana Jivha Kaya Mana. That is again by eye possession. I have beautiful eyes. I have beautiful ear. I have beautiful nose. And all these things can make you have, generate this mana. Sattavida mana is sevenfold mana. Atimana, mana is the conceit. Atimana is the arrogance. Mana atimana is conceit and arrogance together. Omana is contempt. Adhimana, superiority complex. Asmimana, egotism, and michamana, wrong conceit. They are the 7 kind of manas that we have. Atthavidamana, 8 manas. Labhena, alabhena, so when you have gain or you have loss, these all can actually generate mana. Omana means lower, that is contempting others, and then alabhena omana. So when you have labha, you have mana. When you have alabha, then you have like lower, that is lower conceit, inferiority complex. Then when you have fame, you have mana, conceit, and when you have ill repute, then you have again inferiority feeling. And then pasansa, when others praise you, you have conceit, and ninda, when the other people blame you or contempt you, then you feel lower. Sukhena, when you have happiness, you have mana. Dukkhena, when you have suffering, you have lower feeling. So that is the 8 kind of mana. Navavida mana, Seyyasa Seyyo Hamasmi, here again, you compare with the other people, like the noble people, you are comparing with the others, then you have 1 kind of mana. And Seyyasa Sadiso Hamasmi. So first one is you are the excellent, and the second one is you are trying to compare, you are equal to them. And then Hinamana is you are comparing those noble people with yourself, and then you feel inferior. And then Sadisassa Seyyamano means when you are comparing with equal people, like some companions you have, so you always feel you are better off them. And Sadisassa Sadisamano means when you have those equal companions, like fellow co-workers or something, you feel equal to them. And Sadisassa Hinamano, and among them, if you feel lower, that is Hinamana. And Hinasa Seyyamano, among those diminished people, and you feel better off. And when you are with those, you feel sometimes you might feel I am equal to them. And sometimes even you feel you are even lower to them. This is how the 9 kind of mana is explained here. And Dasavidha mana also is there. So Jatiya, that means by birth, some people have mana. Gottena, by clan, they get mana. And Kulaputtiyena or Kolaputtiyena, that means by young man of good family, that can also make you generate mana. Vanna Pokkarata means because of the skin color, beauty of the skin color can also make you like arrogant. And dhanena, when you have wealth, ajjenena means when you have a good education, and kammayatanena, even when you work in a very, very famous company or something, then also you feel I'm working in such and such a company, it is world famous, and all these things can also generate you ego. And Sippayatanena, and also the school that you have been working. Sippa actually here means vocational school. Vijjathanena means academic school. So in all these cases, you can generate mana. Sutena, by hearing. Patibhanena, by understanding. Anyataranya by certain other things can also make you mana. This is how we make mana in so many different levels. Now you see, like not 1, not 2, not 3, but up to 10, we have so many different kinds of manas, and why we know, and now we know why it is so difficult to get rid of two. So how do we do it? Like, we really have to be very mindful about that. Yo eva rupo mano manyana manyitatang unnati unnamo. Any person, when that person has such and such conceit, and by imagination, by self-conceiting, and by rising, and by racing, and then like a dhaja means flag, and samagaho, when you have that assumption, ketu kamyata, that means vain glory. When you have these things, this is called mana. So it's very important that we first of all, we need to understand what is mana, and then I think it will be a little easier for us to do something about the mana. And so Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, then we also have Uddhacha, right? When you have Uddhacha, that is mean restlessness. When you have restlessness, you cannot meditate. You cannot take right decision. You cannot have inner peace. It can be really impacting you, detrimentally affect you in so many ways in your life when you have Uddhacha. So this is restlessness. When you have Uddhacha, you cannot even sleep. Vupasama, that is Uddhata, Uddhatanti, Uddhata karo. This is Uddhacha, this is how it is explained. Like it kinds of generates a very high energy in you when you have Uddhacha, so it is difficult to calm down. And Aupasamoti, Navupasamo, when you have Aupasama, that means no relief, no peace. And so what happens here? Cheto Vikipati. So your mind becomes very disturbed. And Chetaso Vikepo, that disturbance in your mind can have Bhantatang, that means confusion. So it can create confusion in you. So because of that, you cannot meditate, you cannot have one-pointedness. Ekarammana is very difficult. And also you have this vipandana, that writhing struggle in you can also be there because of this Uddhacha. So when you have Uddhacha, you can't really work on one-pointedness, because it is constantly vacillating and hesitating, and restlessness will be dominant in this. And Uddhacha also is a good friend of Vichikicha. Vichikicha is the remorse. When you have Uddhacha, you also have the remorse. So this again is a really powerful defilement that we have, and we also have to really be mindful about that. That is also why it is difficult for us to meditate and come to that one-pointedness. Come to that samadhi is so difficult just because of this Uddhacha. And then the avijja, another very powerful akusala. As I mentioned before, avijja can be the reason why we are always waiting so much in this samsara, and trying to find a way out of this samsara. And remember, if we do not make any effort, it will be difficult for us to come to the knowledge. And so keep working on this avijja, keep trying to understand this avijja, because avijja is something that always fools you. Avijja knows how to exactly fool you very easily, because of your good name, because of your fame, because of your money, because of your education, even because of your meditation, the avijja can fool you. So it's really important that we know there is a great danger, and it is also easier for us to recognize lobha, the greed, right? When you are greedy, you definitely recognize it. It is also easier for you to recognize dosa, that is the anger or the ill will. It's easier to recognize, but it's very, very hard, almost impossible to recognize the avijja, or that is ignorance or delusion. This is why it is so difficult to get rid of. This is also something related to upekka in a way. Upekka is equanimity, but in this so-called equanimity, avijja is also underlined. Avijja has latent tendency there too. So that can again, when you have avijja or when you have upekka, you will only go to the Brahma realm. And why? Because you still have avijja there. And that is again, there are certain other anusahagata or latent tendencies that we need to work with upekka. Then only we can completely get rid of that. And avijja is the other thing that we are working on here. Okay, so that is about the arahanta ideal, and arahanta is so important and very important for us to think of this avijja, arahanta, and arahanta is explained in so many ways. I would like to explain some, maybe one or two paragraphs in the Mahanidesa Pali. One in Purabheda Sutta Nidesa, it is mentioned, Saṁyojati arahato chakku passati araha chakkuna rupang chandarago arahato nati suimutta chitto araha. That means arahanta person also has chakku, eye, and passati araha chakkuna rupang, he sees the rupa through the eye. Chandarago arahato nati, but he doesn't have that powerful lust or sensual lust when he looks through the eye. That is the difference. Why? Suvimutta chitto araha, arahanta person is already liberated from all the defilements. When you are liberated from all the defilements, you don't have to worry about that. So like for us, whenever we see a rupa, we create karma, right? Whether it is, if it is a pleasant rupa, we create what do you call, greed. If it is an unpleasant rupa, then we create what do you call, ill will or hatred. So it always is something like that, or it can be also in between, but it still it is a little bit of karma that we make all the time when we see the rupa. But the arahanta people have no problem with that. And same with the sunati, or when they listen to something, so tena saddam sunati, they will listen to things through the ear, and ghanena gandham gayati, they will smell things through the nose, and vivhaya rasang sayati, that means they will also taste through the tongue, and so kayena pottabang, same thing with the body, they will also feel the contact, touches with the body, and manasa dhammang also, and they will also think of the dhamma, they will also recognize the dhamma through the mind, but they will not have chandaraga, they will not have sensual lust, because their mind is completely liberated. This is why it is so important to know. And I think with this, I'm going to explain one more thing, and then I'm going to stop for you to allowing you to give some time to ask questions. And this one will be very useful too, because yesterday we were talking about the Mara Senas, right? The army of the Mara. So these are the army of the Maras actually. They are also the Arahanta person also is called Chattavi, one who has given up. And also he is also called Tadi. He has that equanimity, very different kind of equanimity. They are not being affected by anything, whatever happens around. So Arahato Rago Chatto, the raga is not there, and doso, anger is not there, moho, ignorance is not there, kodho, wrath is not there, upanabho, ill will is not there, makho, depreciation of another person, like attukkantana paravambana, you are trying to undermine other people and self-glorifying yourself. And palaso, spiteful one, issa, jealousy, macharyang, avarice, maya, deceit, and satheyang, it is like craft, and thambo, it is like what do you call obstinacy, saramba, and then again involving danger to other people, mana, conceit, atimana, too much pride, mother, intoxication, pamada, negligence, and all these kilesa, sabbe kilesa, all the impurity, sabbe duccharita, all the bad conduct, sabbe daratha, all the sorrows, sabbe parilaha, all fevers, sabbe santapa, all heat, sabba kusala bisankara, all the kusala akusala, unwholesome sankharas will be gone, will be completely eradicated by the Arahanta person. These are the Mara Senas, the army of the Mara. These are the things that we have to constantly work with, and how to get rid of them. Maybe if we have it, any sort of anger, any sort of jealousy, any sort of greed, any sort of conceit, we can see where we are. So by working on this list alone, I think will be very helpful to us. If we have this list on the wall somewhere, so you read it all the time, or maybe you recite this all the time. Maybe it will remind you all those defilements that you have in you. So with that, I would like to conclude, and hopefully there are so many things to actually explain, but this limited time, I would like to conclude today, and hope and wish that all of us be able to attain that supreme bliss of Nibbana, the ultimate bliss, the ultimate goal of all of us.
Hannamayam Dhammakataya Sadhukaram Dadamase Sadhu 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 Anumodami. Thank you very much, Bhante Sumitta. And does anyone here have questions?
I have one.
Okay.
I guess it's like a two-part question, and the second one lends itself to the first part. Does an arahant experience somanasa and the domanasa? And if he does not, how does that work with his experience of jhana?
When you talk about arahanta people, they already have actually come out of those those things, and that is also why they are called tadi. They can maintain that equanimity in a very, very deep, profound level. And even when the Buddha passes away, they don't feel domanassa.
Okay.
They don't have depression. They don't have. They don't get tears. So they can deal with it. They know it already. This is part of the world. This is part of the nature, the law of nature, the law of karma. It is very much part of it. Same thing, like when you are so happy, super happy, then it that itself is a defilement. So they have done away with those things. All those conditioned things, conditioned phenomena are no more with the Arahanta.
Thank you, Bhante. And Geeta asks, Bhante Sumitta, how can one avoid meditation in the Arupa jhanas as the lifespan is enormous and it will eventually lead back to samsara?
Yes, all the Brahma realms actually they are very long. Last night I think we were also discussing a little bit. Like in compared to our human realm, the Deva worlds they have very long life, and in compared to their world, the Brahma realm is even more longer. And even in Brahma realm, many other Brahma realms are there in a different hierarchical order. The Mahabrahma realm is what do you call 1 eon a day. For like a day there is 1 eon here something, and then when it comes to Akanita Brahma realm, it is a 72,000 or something. If I'm not mistaken, has really long the time that they can live there, and because of that, they also feel like they have seen the world system coming and going. They have seen many Buddhas coming and going, and so they feel like they are permanent, they are eternal, they are not dying. But it is not so. Even though it takes a long time, they are staying there, enjoying their blissful, happy, jhanic ecstasy, euphoria, but they will still have to come back to the samsara one day or the other. And so even in your like Arupa Brahma realm, formless Brahma realm, you will still enjoying that in the mind, but then we'll come back to this samsara. There is a story about one time a buffalo was looking at the Buddha, and the Buddha actually he doesn't smile that much, like and that time when the buffalo was looking at him, he smiled, and then Venerable Anand asked the Blessed One, why did you smile? You normally don't do that way. Today is something special. Then the Buddha said, Ananda, the buffalo who is looking at me was actually a Brahma before. So you see how this samsara is just like that. So until we attain the Sotapanna, there is no guarantee whatsoever that we will not be born in the apaya or the lower realm. So even if we are born as human beings, we know how suffering the life is. So many things going on, ups and downs, vicissitudes, good and bad. It's always happening. The misery, the suffering, the torture, it's always happening in this human realm. Even in the Deva realm, it is only temporary. Brahma realm, even little longer, but it is still not permanent. It is still temporary. So to be born here as human beings, we have the opportunity to achieve Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta stages. That is the only way that we can get rid of these sufferings.
Thank you, Bhante. And Sake asks, whatever, quote, whatever evil action has been done by this body born of action, that will be all experienced here in this life. This statement is from the Brahma-vihara Suttas, so it is true?
Okay, could you repeat?
Whatever evil action has been done by this body, born of action, that will all be experienced here in this life.
Not necessarily. I think not everything. Like the karma that we do, some part of the karma can be here. That is called, what do you call? We have certain karma reactions, or the impact of the karma that we can enjoy or suffer here. That is called dittha dhamma vedaniya karma. So part of the karma can be effective here in this birth, but the others can be there aparapariya vedaniya immediately after this birth, or some of them are also will also be reflecting during the course of our samsara, and some of them again will become like ahosi karma. It will never come back to us. Let's say like you don't get angry, you try not to get angry for a long time, you try to maintain peace, you try to meditate, you try to be positive, you try to be a good person all the time, then you do not allow condition to those bad karma to come and punish you. So all the good karma will also have more opportunity to come and reward you. So the more you'd be good, the more good karma will, more and more good karma will come to you. Yeah, that is the case. So don't worry if you have done something wrong in the past. Just be good, just do good, and purify your mind today. Will be much more rewarding for the rest of your life and for the rest of your samsara.
Thank you, Bhante. And Gita asks, what would be a skillful way to get rid of conceit, since it can be done? Would looking at impermanence, non-self, and suffering help to reduce conceit?
Yes, one way of looking at it is the impermanence, because we don't live forever. Everything is impermanent, and then why do we need to have conceit? And then things like anapanasati will be helpful, and asubha bhavana will be helpful, and foulness of the body, and then also marananusati bhavana can be helpful. Thinking of this impermanence can really be helpful to get rid of conceit.
Thank you, Bhante. And Sam asks, how is inferiority a conceit?
Inferiority can be, it is also a category of conceit actually, because you lower yourself. You lower yourself, then it doesn't help you. It becomes a defilement, because you cannot really come to when you are lower, when you are down yourself, then it doesn't help you generate a positive outcome. It's really very unfortunate, but that itself is a part of the conceit.
Thank you, Bhante. And the last question from Michael, as we understand Pure Land Buddhism, can we make an intention toward a particular realm? That is, if we feel we can't quite make an intention to the Nibbana yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I'm not the best person to ask about the Pure Land Buddhism, but in my understanding, there are certain karma that people make. Like even the Bodhisattva, he wanted to become Samma Sambuddha, so he fulfilled the paramitas. Then he could become Samma Sambuddha. Venerable Sariputta wanted to become the Agga Savaka, he could be so. And Venerable Ananda wanted to become the personal attendant to the Buddha, he could do so. And Yasodhara wanted to become the wife of the Buddha. Can you imagine? She could be so. So Venerable Sivali, Venerable Upali, Venerable Moggallana, even little Prince Rahula, they all have come to their stages, not just random choice. It was their consistent effort and fulfilling paramitas. Yes, we actually can we can have those spiritual goals in our life if you want to. Like that is also why it is important to read those very beautiful, powerful stories, because they inspire us. Like if you read all the time some adventurous movies, or let's say like some violent movies or something, then maybe you might be inspired to become a leader of maybe a terrorist leader or something like that. But if you continue to learn, read, share about those beautiful roles, characters, they will inspire us to become a better, exceptional role model leaders.
All right, thank you, Bhante. And that was the last question for this morning. If you have any lingering questions, you can bring them tonight for Monk Chat, where there will be a panel of monastics that will answer all your questions related or vaguely related to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. All right, and pass it on to Bhante Sumitta for ending the day.
Thank you very much for joining us with this 3 lecture series, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahanta states. They are our utmost spiritual goals. All of us should work. Let us try, as we have been born as wonderful human beings. I think it is time for us to think very seriously. I want to become Sotapanna in this birth itself. And so keep trying and keep working. And if you are determined yourself, if you make an attempt, that will be very, very helpful. You never know, you might be able to attain at least Chula Sotapanna, at least somewhere closer to the Sotapanna. That way. So if you are in the Sotapanna stage, you will be not being born so many hundreds and thousands and millions of times in the samsara anymore. So that will be just a few more births if you attain Sotapanna. So my sincere wish and prayer for all of you to attain Sotapanna at least. That will be the greatest achievement in our life if we try this out. And the Dhamma is there with us, and we also continue to listen to the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, and keep working on your meditation. Little more extra effort to meditate little bit more, little bit longer, little bit more consistently and continuously and regularly can be really, really helpful to all of you and to all of us. And by the power of this powerful meritorious activity that we have done today and before, and during this life also, by way of practicing Dana Sila Bhavana, and even throughout the samsara, we have generated so much good karma. Let us share all the merits with all the devas, all the other sentient beings, and including our departed ones. May they all receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. Especially we want to invoke blessings upon all of you and your family members, friends and relatives, teachers and elders, everyone in your community, everyone in your country, and everyone in the world. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all devas, brahmas help you, protect you, guide you towards the right path. May all the wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. May all of us be able to attain the absolute peace and happiness, the supreme bliss of Nibbana as soon as possible. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together, close to your heart, and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Let us transfer merit to Devas and other beings. Ittavata hehi sambhatam punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata hehi sambhatam punya sampadang sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata hehi sambhatam punya sampadang sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Transferring merits to all the departed ones. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukheta hontu ñātayo. Aspiration for Kalyana Mitta friends. Imena punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Aspiration for Nibbana. Idang me punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu sabba bhaya pamuncatu sabba roga pamuncatu. Sadhu,
Sadhu,